get it. Pick it up. Ooh. Today we got the very rare opportunity to go into Kevin Yagher's Creature FX studios. He's worked on some of the most iconic creatures that the movie industry has ever seen, such as Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street, the Chucky doll from Child's Play, and he worked on John Travolta in Face Off. This guy is no joke, and we get exclusive access to go tour his studio. Let's go inside and meet Kevin. Come on. Kevin! Hey! It's good to meet you. Oh, nice. Wait, COVID.
Okay,
you know,
right.
I prepared for this moment.
Give me a squirt.
There we go.
Awesome, thanks.
Of course. It's great to finally meet you, man. Thank you for letting us be in your studio. I'm super excited, and I can't wait to see what we're about to see.
Well, cool. Let's get the trail.
Let's do it. Okay. And what is this back here?
This is the wall of faces, I call it. You know, it's like a lot of actors that I've taken head casts to when I do makeups on them.
Oh, so this is like the original mold?
Yeah, I'll take an actual impression of their face. So I would start with a molded material, like a silicone, and pour it on their faces, peel it off, and then pour stone or some other, this happens to be plastic, and make copies of them, and I actually work out appliances that I put on their face.
So ultimately you're taking like the ultimate picture, because you can freeze this person in time forever and always make them as like a doll or a face or a mask.
Yeah, totally, yeah. I mean, if you look close, you can see pores, you can see
I see
scars.
John Travolta right here.
Yeah, that's John Travolta. Nick Cage is up here.
Nicolas Cage, Steven Tyler.
Yeah, from Aerosmith. Eddie Murphy, this is Eddie Murphy here. Richard Griffiths, he played Harry Potter's mean uncle.
Yeah, I see when they're locked on the steps. And then you were telling me that this is actually your daughter when she was younger.
Yeah, she's older now. She's 28, but I took her face cast when she was 5. So she kind of, you know, she grew up with Chucky around Dad. You know, that was just part of her upbringing. So to take her face cast was nothing surprising to her.
That's so
and she was so cool. She was so chill. She just lay there. She's like, when I actually pulled this stuff off, I thought she'd have a worried look on her face, and she was just busting out laughing.
So how long does it take to make a mold of something?
About 10 minutes.
So they have to sit completely.
And you're talking about a 5-year-old. So but she was stoic. She did a great job.
But that's so cool. Maybe one day you can make her daughter a doll of her.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
That'd be awesome. All right. Well, what else do we got to see?
Come on. This is like more of a storage room right now.
Wow.
Display room.
Check this out.
So this is again like kind of a storage room. You know, right now it's acting as storage, but I have a lot of old props on the walls just to display. Like if you look at here, there's a bunch of bodies up here that were used in things like Cradle to the Grave, Starship Troopers.
So most of these stuff that's in here was used in a movie at some point. Yeah,
we shot it and it's already been done. In fact, over here there's things that are literally like, these things are from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
With these guys?
And they're 30 years old, 25, 30 years old.
And I was actually watching a video on how you guys put these hairs in. It's very meticulous because you have to do one at a time.
Yeah, they're with like a little needle that has a fork on the end, and we have to grab each hair. This is actually horsehair.
And who's this handsome gentleman?
That's Keanu Reeves. That was Keanu Reeves 20, 30 years ago.
It's like, it's hard to see like their face until and they put it on, then it really fits them perfectly and it makes it like actually look like a real person. Because like right here, you'd probably think this doesn't look like a real person, but as soon as someone puts it on, it looks exactly like a real person. I don't understand.
Or in this case, like we put his eyes in. This was a dummy of him, so it was meant to be a dummy. So once those eyes go in, because it's the window to the soul, they say. So when the eyes go in, that's when it pops.
Wow, so that's the eyes, the windows to the soul.
Yeah. For mechanical hands that you put on. And you slip your hands in. These are very old style techniques, you know. They still use them in some cases. People are still making gorilla suits and things like that. But these were for little people. So who played the stations were only like 3.5 feet tall. That's why my hand doesn't fit quite in here, but they'd slip their smaller hand inside and then they would move the fingers like this.
Wow. How cool. That's cool.
They could do that.
So I know you have a viral clip using this Kim Jong-un. Let's play that clip. How do you think about doing stuff like this, man?
I don't know. I was actually blowing it was for a baby I was doing.
Yeah.
I was blowing off the face to get all the extra hair off of it after I gave it a haircut. And then suddenly the face just kind of went,
and you're like, I need to film that. Yeah.
I said, Mitch, get the camera. So we just did it a couple times, recorded it, and then I put it on Instagram, and it kind of went viral a little bit. So then I decided, I thought, hey, I made the comment about looking like Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
So I went back in and I decided to make a little Kim Jong-un.
You made a little Kim Jong-un and everyone's favorite person, Mr. Donald Trump. And what did you make them into?
Well, they're just like little hand puppets that and again, it was all for Instagram, so just to do little videos. I put little clubs in their hands and have them fight so you could. So,
this is literally probably how their conversation went when they had that conversation.
And then it turned into.
These are actually the ones used.
Yeah, in fact, I think I threw this at one point. I threw this at my wife because she's in the movie.
Oh.
She played the mom, so.
That is so funny.
Made of urethane, so they don't rot. They do darken in skin color. They'll actually darken from the sun. But that's why he's tan Chucky here.
Donald Trump's baby.
Yeah.
So I see this dog,
Yeah.
and it somewhat resembles my dog.
You have a dog?
I do have a dog. He's alive, but I've always wanted to get a sculpture made of him. Out of just randomness, if someone were to come to you and want to like make something like that, how much would you charge?
Someone or you?
Me.
Because if it was you, I give you a discount.
All right, you know what?
I don't know, because you have to, again, you have to sculpt something
Yeah.
like that, then you have to add the hair. I mean, who knows? I probably back in the day, there was something from the 80s, I probably charged, $1,500.
$1,500 to make.
But it could be more now.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Did you know that you can actually pay and get your animal a clone? 50,000.
Oh no! I bet you're gonna say freeze dried, which they offer that service too.
That's something too. Hey, we're learning new things every day, right? Let's move over to here. All right, I see the legendary John Travolta and Nicolas Cage. They're full bodies. Like these are like scale replicas.
Yeah, these are from the film Face Off.
So I need to ask this question because I bet the people at home are probably wondering. Because I'm wondering what's underneath this towel. Like, is there anything, or is it flat?
It's like a Ken doll, a Barbie doll.
Okay.
It's just the shape.
It's just the shape.
It looks like a croissant.
See,
no details.
I had to ask for the people.
Absolutely.
You know, we're wondering here.
There may be one lung that work. I guess not.
Okay.
But the faces will still
Oh, I see.
twitch. Yeah.
Oh wow.
You can see it, like the jaw movement. Some things have broken.
Like you see him breathing right here?
Yeah. It just does this now.
Yeah.
It used to go.
Really?
Yeah, that's great.
That's
like
so awesome.
And they get a little, they're plasticized, so that means we put like a liquid silicone into the mix of the silicone. So after a while, it just begins to leach out of the skin, so that's why they're kind of shiny.
That's some messed up toes, man. Check this out. You gotta pay me extra for a pedicure of those things.
Probably. And again, they come out when we do them, the sculptures, we have to divide it into two pieces. So there's a seam. You can kind of see a little bit of a seam.
Yeah.
It's been blended.
And then is that like a scar that was on? Or is that
no,
just...
that's probably a mistake.
Oh, okay.
Look at this, guys. Look how realistic Steven Tyler looks. So I asked you this earlier. What are you doing? Oh my God. That's incredible. I asked you earlier, like, do people ever want to keep these? Because I feel like if you made my face look exactly like me, I'm going to want to keep it and put it in my house.
Yeah, you'd
like,
scare people, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happened with this. I mean, Steven wanted me to make a head of him. So I convinced him to do a screaming, because that's how he sings.
Right.
He's all about his
iconic,
mouth, right?
Yeah.
So I did a hand cast too and put a microphone in it, and then we put it into a nice plexiglass case.
So is this actually like his size? He seems like he has a small head.
People think his mouth is really big, but I think his mouth is normal size and his head is smaller. But
He's
he's
a small little
he's
head.
got he's about our height, I think, about the same height.
Wow.
But he's got a smaller head.
Hey, maybe if this video gets 150,000 likes, we'll get one of our own, guys. Your first solo project was Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street, yeah?
Yes, it was actually Nightmare on Elm Street 2. They had already made the first one a year before. So I came into this as the second film, So they knew what they had, but they were still...
And it needed to be better, basically.
Yeah.
So you had a lot of pressure on your shoulders during this time to make this. Like, you didn't have to just make just a mask. Like, it's his whole body, right?
Yeah, I had to do this was part, I think, part 3. So I had to do a chest of souls. You can see little faces on his chest, and that's all basically represents all the children that are stuck inside of his mind or his world, or that people he was hunting down. This is the main shop. I mean, this is where all the work happens. Those are like the sweet places where it's display stuff, and this is where all the stuff happens that all the work goes on. We worked on a show called Bones.
I've heard
about 12 years, and so we did all the victims, and we did some animals and all kinds of stuff. Up there, as you can see, there's a morgue up there. 50 bodies from a film called Starship Troopers.
And this is just like their home forever? They're just gonna live and sit there for
Well, I do
eternity?
rent them out, so like we're getting ready right now to rent out a body, so you can actually rent one of these.
Really?
Yeah, for a price, a small price.
I don't know what you guys want to do with it, but you know what?
It's a good bargain too, because you don't have to pay the whole price.
There
for
you
it.
go. So what do we got going on right here? Are we painting it, making it
Chris
look
is
bloody?
Yeah.
I'm just putting in some organs, attaching them to the body, so that when it goes through shipment and when they shoot it on set, that nothing falls out. It's all secure.
When you were making something like this, do you think about like what happened to him to make it this?
Yeah, these guys all had a story behind them. So in each episode of Bones, you know, if you look, this guy had a liver that had some. Do you remember what happened in this episode, Chris?
Some type of disease.
Yeah, disease that made his
Yes.
liver split. You know, they'll lose an eye or something like that. They'll have cuts on their bones. Like if you look here, there's a fracture here. So they'll go in do a tight close-up of that, and that'll be part of the reason like he got struck here in the ribs.
Yeah.
So you'll see these little fractures going on in the arm too, and that tells the story of how they, they're basically detectives working on this. You know, they're doing the autopsies and trying to figure out who killed the person. They always end up finding their man.
That's
Or
crazy.
woman.
Yeah. So when you're making something like this, like you have to look at stuff, right? That can give you the accurate representation of what this looks like.
We look at books, or we'll go on the internet to look at anatomy, you know, basically, and sometimes people who've had, you know, been burned up in fires and things like that. But we have to study things that most people couldn't stomach.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't mind doing this, but I don't like touching the real stuff
Yeah.
myself. So.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah. So this is our display room, I guess. So this is like some of the choicer bits that I've done.
Yeah.
I've kind of got them under glass and lit them up. That down here is Freddy Krueger, and you've got Sleepy Hollow, which I got to write the story to, and almost directed it, and then Tim Burton came on, and we'll talk about it.
We'll get into that.
And then this was Astronaut's Wife. These were babies that were in Charlize Theron's belly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we built it in an actual giant room,
Wow.
a womb room, that the camera could get inside and shoot off.
This is like the womb, right?
That's a small portion of what we
Wow.
actually built. So this is some body effects that we did for Starship Troopers. And then over here we got Chucky and Tiffany from Bride of Chucky. And this was the character I was talking about, the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, the Crypt
the
Keeper.
host of Tales from the Crypt
That's
years ago.
incredible. Like, look at it. You just have a puppet there and everything. It's so realistic. Last question before we jump on over to the podcast, because we're going to get deeper with this. What do we got here?
Oh, these are just these are a couple of awards. This is a makeup award I got for Sleepy Hollow.
Wow.
For doing the makeup on the Headless Horseman. This is an Emmy from Tales from the Crypt that I got for directing a little wraparound for that.
That's way bigger than it looks like on TV, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, is it?
It's pretty heavy. Oh, man. Wow. When they're on TV and they're accepting it, they're just like, it looks small. This thing's big.
Pretty big.
But it's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's really nice looking too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good design, I think.
We're going to get into everything right now because I have the situation here. We got the podcast situation.
Okay.
So how about we sit down, we get to know each other a little bit more,
Great.
and we
Let's
let
do
the
it.
people listen. Make sure you go stream the rest of this podcast. It's going to be at shareyourscare.com. Check it out, and let's get down to the nitty gritty because I'm actually curious. How much does that Chucky doll cost? We'll find out.